A Politician on Netflix, which is Ryan Murphy's first new show for the streaming giant. They gave him $300 million and said, come up with whatever you want. And he's come up with The Politician, second season already confirmed. Helen, do you want to walk us through the basics of this and then we'll say what we thought?
Quite hard to do that because it's quite complex.
That's why I handed it over to you see.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
You follow Peyton Hobart, who's played by Ben Platt, and he is a student in a high school, and he's very rich. He has Gwyneth Paltrow as his stepmom, and he basically says that he's going to be the president of the United States. But obviously, before he can do that, he needs to get through school. And he's basically worked out the exact formula to becoming a prime minister, a president. He works out that he needs to be the president of his high school. So then he starts this massive campaign. And from there on in, it turns into a kind of semi-teen drama, kind of House of Cards battle for the top spot. But also just an exploration of very, very rich kids in America. In typical Ryan Murphy style, it's very colourful, it's very creative, it's very self-indulgent, I might add. And I think it is going to divide viewers, for sure.
I think it already has, and it's only been there since Friday. I've seen a lot of conflicting views. The thing for me for this is I love Pose, which is created by the same people, and it's one of the most humane shows on television that I wish more people were talking about. And to think that this is created by those same people is quite something, really, because it's the complete antithesis of everything that I love about Pose. But I had a strange relationship with it, where the dialogue was often ridiculous and grated on me, and yet I found myself sort of unwittingly engaged with it, and I wanted to continue. And even now, sitting here and I've seen 3, I have no idea why. I have no idea what.
That's really surprised me, you know.
Yeah, I know, it did me. It has me, because I have no idea what it is about it that I liked, because on paper, I shouldn't have liked it. You know, it's a privileged world. It's a world that I certainly can't relate to. I know Helen's gone up in the world since we last spoke, but it's not a world that I can really relate to, and some of the dialogue is really clunky, and some of the characters feel completely out of this world. But I am at the third one. Whether I'm going to continue, I'm not in a rush to continue, but it did somewhat interest me, although I don't think it's anything new or particularly inventive. There's something about it has a bizarre charm to it, or it did to me. What were your thoughts then, Matt? You don't agree?
You know, you're right. It's that heightened world, and it just didn't really connect for me. And there seemed to be a sort of the bizarre sort of parody of The Act going on in there as well. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes, I noticed that. Yeah, I did.
And I don't know if this, you know, Ryan Murphy had come up with it. This character called Infinity Jackson, who is the student who Peyton decides to pick as his running mate. Who is presumably looks like she is going through treatment for cancer. We see her in a wheelchair at points. Jessica Lange plays her grandmother, who's her main carer. And then the sort of big reveal at the end, after he reveals that she'll be his running mate, is someone tells him, you know, she's faking it. And I was just like, I watched this last week.
Yeah, but do you kind of get what I mean? It's a weird show, but it kept me invested in a way.
It has a very sort of feel to about Glee to it. It's almost, I was going to say it's Glee without the singing, but then Peyton sings the Joni Mitchell song halfway through it. So.
Helen, I know you were somewhat obsessed at one point.
I'm with you. I'm 5 episodes in, and I will say that I binged those 5 episodes. And I still don't really know where I'm at with it. I'm kind of enjoying it, kind of hating it, kind of just waiting for someone to start killing someone American Horror Story style, because that's just what it feels like to me.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. It's such a shame because, you know, the cast is like actually incredible. There's a lot of Ryan Murphy familiars there. You know, you've got January Jones, obviously you've got Gwyneth Paltrow, Jessica Lange. Ben Platt is very, very good in the role. Bette Midler even shows up. and Martina Navratilova, who I never thought I would be talking about today. Like, you know what I mean? It's got this like
it's
incredible.
odd, isn't it? It's odd.
I like the design of it. It's very sort of precise, isn't it? Peyton is very much a focus character, and that's the opening credits, isn't it? You know, you see his bookshelf of all these biographies that he's read, this sort of focus that he's got on becoming the president. There is bits of it I liked, but I did find it a bit of a slog, I have to say, this first episode. I don't think it's got a flow. It's got moments of sort of, you go, oh, okay, I get where this is going. But and this first episode, the most sympathetic character, without spoiling it, left halfway through.
Well done. You didn't spoil that at all. Well done. Just walked off screen. Perfectly fine.
I left it ambiguous. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the thing is, it does feel a little bit like Ryan Murphy's gone, I've got to out Ryan Murphy myself. And it does feel a little bit like that he's just gone, I'm just going to throw everything at this. And they've already commissioned a second series with the idea of we will eventually see Ben Platt become president. So that's an interesting idea.
Is it like every season is a different political race? So this is like student president. And that's, I suppose, why they've cast people who look a lot older than they should be in high school. But then, again, I think that is a Ryan Murphy trope if you look back at Glee.
The female characters were, especially the younger female characters, I struggled with, Helen, because they didn't seem very sympathetic or authentic. What about you?
Yeah, Infinity was a good one. I found myself really, really drawn into her story because, you know, as you say, you don't quite know what the truth is about her. I would really, really liked Lucy Boynton as Astrid. I thought she was the funniest character, to be honest, because although it's a comedy, there's not a lot of humour in it. And I thought she was actually quite good, and you get a bit of an exploration about her past later on. But yeah, I see what you mean. You know, they're all very caricature-ish. I don't think you're supposed to really relate to them, though. I think that's maybe the point.
Yeah, you're probably right. And I like the fact that in a Ryan Murphy show, no one's ever called Paul, Jeff, or Gemma, aren't they? They're always called Astrid and Peyton and Infinity and beyond. Well, you know, it's just that he goes all out, and he's got a couple of upcoming Netflix shows, and it's an interesting to see that we're in a period where Netflix aren't just buying shows now, they're buying the people who create good shows and saying, create stuff for us.
Shonda Rhimes as well, is it, that they've snapped up?
Yeah, they've done that with a few people. I have seen conflicting views. Some people have said it's a complete mess, but it's all the more enjoyable for it. And other people have said it's a complete mess and I can't watch it because of that. And I don't know what connected with me, and I don't. Very rarely do I come on and I know a show is good, bad, or otherwise. But this one, the fact that I actually don't feel that compelled to go and watch 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 straight away is probably telling, because Unbelievable is in a different league in my mind to that completely. But I don't know. It's not something I should have liked, but I'm nothing but flexible, as you know, Matt, when we do this podcast. I'm a real enigma. I don't know. So that is all there on Netflix now. 8 episodes of the first season of The Politician. It's actually one that I think you've got to see for yourself and make your own mind up.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't know how to advise on it. But it's somewhat compelling and somewhat interesting. And Ben Platt, who I've not seen a lot of, I thought he did a good job. Gwyneth Paltrow, on the other hand, dearie, I don't know. I didn't warm to her, but I don't warm to Gwyneth Paltrow now.
Ben Platt, I think, has come from musical theatre, hasn't he? I think that's.
I believe so. Yeah.